If you love the blues, you found your new home. The Blues Hotel. Real music. Just talking blues. Real stories. And Blues Moments in Time. The history that shaped it all. 3 podcasts. 1 home. The Blues Hotel Collective. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. From the Blues Hotel Collective, welcome to Blues Moments in Time, where every groove holds a memory and every moment echoes the truth of what came before. Today, we rewind the reel, trace the footsteps, and revisit the chapters that shaped the blues. Here is our host, Kelvin Huggins.
Welcome to Blues Moments in Time, the podcast dedicated to exploring the rich history and cultural significance of blues music. Today we focus on the events of February 11, a day that features a landmark recording session, a legal battle for freedom in the 17th century, and a political meeting in Memphis that would change the course of American history. Let's start with the cultural landscape. The blues has always been a music of resistance, a way of asserting humanity in the face of oppression. Amazingly, February 11 marks what historians believe is the first successful legal protest by black people in North America. On this day in 1644, 11 enslaved Africans in New Amsterdam petitioned the colonial council for their freedom, and they won. They established a land of the blacks on the outskirts of the colony. Centuries later, on February 11, 1990, the world watched as Nelson Mandela walked free after 27 years of imprisonment. For the blues and jazz community, which had long raised its voice against apartheid through song and boycott, it was a moment of profound validation, a real-life version of the liberation themes found in so many spirituals and blues standards. Now let's turn our attention to the political climate. We often talk about Memphis, Tennessee as the cradle of the blues. But on the night of February 11, 1968, Memphis became the epicenter of the civil rights movement. Just days after 2 sanitation workers, Echol, Cole and Robert Walker, were crushed to death inside a faulty garbage truck, over 700 workers gathered at the Memphis Labour Temple. On this night, February 11, they took a historic vote. They collectively decided to go on strike the very next morning. This wasn't just a labour dispute, it was a demand for dignity, immortalised by the signs they would carry reading, "I am a man." This strike is what pulled Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to Memphis, where he would ultimately give his life. The soul and blues music coming out of Memphis at the time from artists at Stax Records became the soundtrack to this struggle. The grit and pain of the 1968 strike are forever woven into the fabric of the Memphis sound. Of course, no discussion of blues history would be complete without exploring the music. While the streets of Memphis were heating up for the 60s, we look back to 1923 for a musical revolution. On this day, the Empress of the Blues, Bessie Smith, walked into a studio for Columbia Records to cut her first side, Downhearted Blues. It's hard to overstate how important this session was. The record sold nearly 800,000 copies, a number that shocked the white music executives of the time. Bessie didn't just record a hit, she proved that the blues was a commercial force. She kicked down the door for every blues artist who hoped to make a living from their art. February 11 has also marked the beginning of life for some incredible blues musicians. We wish a heavenly birthday to Josh White. Born in 1914, Josh was a true pioneer, a Piedmont blues master who wasn't afraid to use his guitar as a weapon for justice. He was a close friend of FDR, a fierce advocate for civil rights, often at great personal cost during the McCarthy era. We also celebrate Otis Clay, born in 1942, and Little Johnny Taylor, who was born in 1943. Both men helped bridge the gap between the raw blues of the Delta and the polished soul R&B of the city. If you like your blues with a horn section and a gospel shout, you have these two men to thank. And sadly, February 11 has also been a day of loss. We remember Whitney Houston, who passed on this day in 2012, while the world knew her as a pop star. Her voice was built on the foundation of the black church and the blues tradition. And finally, we note the passing of Jerry Kennedy, a titan of the Nashville session scene. Kennedy's guitar work backed countless artists, bridging the often blurred line between country music and the rhythm and blues. And that's all the time that we have for today's episode of Blues Moments in Time. I'm Kelvin Huggins. Join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating history of the blues.